Thor Love and Thunder has two post-credit scenes. Today we are going to be talking about post-credit scene number 2. Of course, I already did a separate video talking about the first post-credit scene, so make sure to go check out that breakdown video, as well as also my spoiler review. And if you haven't seen the movie yet, then non-spoiler review, and also spoiler warning, because, we're talking about the post-credit scenes in the movie, and, spoilers, so be warned. But anyway, today we are going to be talking about, again, post-credit scene number 2 of Thor Love and Thunder, or I guess the end credit scene, where we see Jane Foster after her death. You saw that when she died, she kind of turned into a bunch of little golden particles in a very similar way to how Odin died in Ragnarok, and then she reforms in Valhalla, where she now is no longer the mighty Thor. She's back to being regular Jane Foster, brunette, with the shorter hair now, and she meets Idris Elba as Heimdall, also sporting a bit of a new look, and this was awesome. This was just amazing, not only to see that, we're getting more Jane Foster, but also, just seeing Idris Elba back as Heimdall, because he was so underutilized in those films. To be fair, that's all Heimdall does, he just guards the Bifrost pretty much, but Idris Elba is an amazing actor. You saw that in the Suicide Squad. So it was kind of a waste of an actor, and you saw him kind of come more into the spotlight in Ragnarok, and then of course make the big sacrifice in Infinity War in the first 5 minutes. So he died, so I wasn't in this movie until the post-credit scene, because he's very dead. But we did get to see his son, though, so that was pretty interesting, and who knows, maybe we'll get to see a bit of a reunion one day. But the big thing we're talking about is Jane Foster being in Valhalla and no longer being the mighty Thor, because this is something that actually happens in the comics, and when this does, she then becomes a Valkyrie. Because the majority of the Valkyries actually kind of reside in Valhalla, because that's what they do, is they transport the beings that have just died, the Asgardians, the fallen Asgardians, into Valhalla, because they got their cool Pegasus and stuff. And Jane Foster in the comics becomes a Valkyrie. She gets this crazy weapon called the Underarm. I'm not really sure if that's how it's pronounced. It's spelt really weird, so there might be some silent letters and stuff like that. Really confusing. But anyway, this underarm weapon is basically, she can wield any weapon that she can imagine, and at times she has golden wings and just all these really cool golden weapons that she can just form out of her imagination. That's honestly really, really cool. And on top of that, like I mentioned before with the whole Pegasus thing, she has her own Pegasus in the comics, just like we know our Valkyrie does in the MCU, played by Tessa Thompson, but this one talks. So we could have Jane Foster as the new Valkyrie of Valhalla, taking people from the land of the living to Valhalla and having these golden wings, having a talking Pegasus, and teaming up with Heimdall. So this honestly sounds like a really cool concept, but is this really something they're going to do in Thor 5? Are they even going to have room to squeeze that in alongside Thor being a father and, Hercules and Zeus and all that stuff? I kind of doubt it. So this is where we bring in Disney Plus. So give us a spin-off series on Disney Plus. Jane Foster, the mighty Valkyrie. I don't know, maybe not. There have been rumors recently about Jane Foster getting her own spin-off series on Disney Plus, and I'll do a separate video about that sometime in the next couple days. It's kind of complicated trying to do that video and this video, because I really want to do it just as one video, but that'd be really hard to do, without spoilers, because then it'd be okay, post-credit scene breakdown, Jane Foster spin-off series on Disney Plus, all in the title. That'd be kind of spoiling. So it'll be a separate video. Check it out. I'll talk about some different stuff as well. But again, it just makes sense to bring back Jane Foster and have Heimdall as well. Bring in some more utilization with him. He still has his powers, I believe. Maybe he can see into the real world, into the land of the living. That'd be pretty cool. Maybe bring back some other fallen Asgardians. Bring back Anthony Hopkins as Odin. Get some Frigga in there. The Warriors 3. They were done dirty. So bring them back. I don't know. There's a lot of possibilities with this, and I don't really know how they would do it. It would get confusing. If Jane Foster becomes a Valkyrie, then what do you do with Tessa Thompson Valkyrie? Because they just call her Valkyrie. So I don't really know. That's why I think it would probably be a mighty Valkyrie or something like that, because Thor is just Thor, so then they just called her Mighty Thor. So Mighty Valkyrie? I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and see. But for now, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What did you think about this end credit scene for Thor Love and Thunder? What did you think about Jane Foster making her way to Valhalla and the possibility of a spin-off series on Disney Plus featuring Jane Foster as the new Valkyrie? So guys, thanks so much for watching. Please drop a like if you enjoyed this video and hit the subscribe button so I can keep you up to date on everything that goes on in the Marvel life.